Eminence Front X5 and Larry Word here. We're at the filming location in Mono Lake, California of The High Plains Drifter, directed by Clint Eastwood. I'm going to take you through what is left, which is nothing, just the location itself. However, there's a little path that leads you down to the water. There are some rocks that kind of designate where you're at, and I'll point those out. And I think I can actually make out right behind my SUV out in the distance there, just before you get to the water, a little flat area, gray area. I think that's where the town ended, and you can turn around there. Let's go check it out. Give you a little reference of where he would have started in the movie. Credits coming down, whatnot. He would have been coming down this hillside, through this location, past this fence post, and on down this road here that would have looked more like a wagon path, and still does. There's a couple land features in the movie that you can see. One of them is this big rock. This rock here is seen in the movie quite a few times. It's at the start of the town. When Clint rides in, he rides right past this rock. And upwards towards this road here. And on through, and this the main street of the town, excuse me. There's one more rock feature that is seen in the movie, and it's this one out in the water. It's a tufa. It's out in the water. You can see it in the movie here and there. It's at the other end of the town. As you're looking through the town and you see the water, you can kind of see these tufas sticking out. Anyway, keep an eye out for that as well. I'll pan over to that as well. So again, this would be the main street of the town that we're going to be walking down. There would be buildings on both sides. As he'd be walking downtown, down the main street, he being the High Plains Drifter. There's not much to see here now, but the main street, a couple of the land features, the lake itself, and this road. When Clint Eastwood came here, he would have seen pretty much the same thing I'm seeing now. How he could have determined this was a good spot for a movie, I don't know. It seems difficult to me. A lot of effort went into building this place, the buildings, but nothing is left. They put it back to normal. I like that. And here's the ending of the street. We're already at the end of the town, believe it or not. The whole story took place right there. In that area we just walked through. Here's the end of town. It's not very long, but the fact that it curved around a little bit is kind of cool. Now, if you look at this hillside here, this is where I parked. The town, of course, is right here. I parked up here against this hill. Actually, I parked right over here. And on the other side of this hill is the second one of the second filming locations of High Plains Drifter.
I was able to make it around to the backside of the small hill that I was at, or camped at last night, and made it to the other location of the High Plains Drifter. I think I just said that. But not easy to find, although once you find it, it's very obvious. As you can see behind me here, this is the entrance to that valley. And that valley is a small little cutout. Looks like a minor activity. Alongside here, there's some remains of that as well. But today, we're more interested in the filming location, not the mining remains. Kind of hard to tell. I walked down to the mining remains, and it's kind of hard to tell what they were doing, but it looks like it's an ore bin of a strange shape. Not quite sure how they were using that. Anyway, like I said, we're not getting into that. Where we're going is into the ambush area where Clint Eastwood's character in the movie High Plains Drifter confronted 3 of the bad guys who were terrorizing the town of Lardo. And he did it with dynamite, and it was a pretty good scene. Let's go look at the filming location of that scene in High Plains Drifter. So the wounded person on the horse was coming through here as he met up with the 3 bad guys before all hell started breaking loose. I believe one person's ear got shot off by Clint Eastwood. The rest was just dynamite and scaring the hell out of these bad guys. So my interpretation of the movie High Plains Drifter is that Clint Eastwood's character is a ghost, and he's coming back to take revenge out on the town that did him wrong. So Lardo is his killing grounds. He was going to destroy that town any way he could. So the cameras would be situated up on top here, pointing down towards the valley where the horse rider was coming back into this area. So they shot down that direction. The horse rider came in from this direction, and I believe once he came in and was greeted by the 3 bad people, the bad guys, he slowly walked over in this direction and fell off his horse, I should say. And I guess there was a couple other horses here, as well as an area to tie them up on. So that would have happened right about here, is my guess. Plump, plump, would have fell right here. So the first explosion, I think, happens up here on top. I believe one of the bad guys shoots up here, and an explosion happens. And that's where that takes place. I believe the bad guys kind of hunker down in this area over here. A lot of scene cuts in this location. Yeah, it's kind of nostalgic being here and trying to figure out where the cameras were set up, how the actors were coming in and out of scene, whatnot. Pretty darn cool. For the most part, this place looks pretty much the same. A lot more vegetation. I would assume they cleared a lot of this stuff out for the movie, but who knows? It's cool to be here. See if I can get some shots from up on top of this here. From here, one of the explosions happened. You don't really get to see much. You just see the explosion happening. You see Clint Eastwood setting the dynamite, but someone in this direction, over here, shoots way up here and ignites the dynamite from this location. Boom. Other dynamite's thrown off this hillside down, as well as gunshots. But as you can see, it's going to take quite a while for a person to walk all the way around to this side. And in a gunfight, that's just not going to happen.
Unless you're a ghost. There's 2 barrels down there. I think that's about where the horses would have been tied up. And the bad guy's horses, as well as the person coming in and falling off on his horse. Happened right about there.